write a function L shift a comma n in Python which accepts a list A of numbers and n is a numeric value by which all elements of the list are shifted to the left. Example, suppose this is the list A 10, 20, 30, 40, 12, 11. Now each and every element should be shifted by n positions, n example 2 positions to the left. So this must be shifted by 2 positions to the left, which means this is position 1, this is position 2. So 10 should come here. Now 20, position 1, after that the second position is this. Okay, so 20 should appear here. Now 30 should be shifted by 2 positions to the left. So this is position 1, this is position 2. So your 30 should appear here. Again 40, 2 positions to the left, position 1, position 2. So your 40 should appear here. Again 12, position 1, position 2. So your 12 should appear here. Finally 11, position 1, position 2. So your 11 should appear here. Okay, this is what you need to do. Now in order to shift the elements by 2 positions to the left, the way to derive the code is you write the code for shifting the element by 1 position to the left. Okay, write the code. Now in order to make it 2 positions to the left, repeat the code 2 times. So if you want to shift the elements by n positions to the left, repeat the code n times. Okay, so write the code for shifting each and every element by 1 position to the left. If you want to shift the elements by n positions to the left, repeat the code n times. Okay, so I am going to derive the code for shifting each and every element by 1 position to the left. How do you do that? A is equal to this list. You know how memory is allocated. A is equal to first element is 10, second element is 20, 30, 40, 12 and 11. For the first element, the index is 0. For the second element, the index is 1. For the next element, the index is 2 and so on. Okay. Okay. Now, how many elements are there in the list? 6 elements are there. How do you get the number of elements present in a list? There is a built-in function by the name len, and within bracket you can write the variable name. Here list, here a points to a list. So if I write length of a, I get the number of elements present in the list A. Let me store that in a variable s. S for size of the list. I am not using variable name n because n is already used for another purpose, shifting the elements by n positions to the left. So n is already used. So number of elements in A, let me store in variable s, and the s stands for size of list A. So s contains 6. Now this is upper bound of the list. And what is upper bound of the list? Number of elements minus 1. You can see 6 elements are there. So 6 minus 1, 5. In general, the upper bound is size minus 1. So here size is there in variable s. So this is nothing but s minus 1. Now if this is s minus 1, what is this? S minus 2. Okay. Now what we need to do is, this element should be shifted by 1 position to the left. Now if I insert this element here, the problem is data 10 is permanently lost. Okay, here you get 20, here also you will get 20. So this element should be stored in a temporary variable t so that it is not permanently lost. After that you can shift this element by 1 position to the left. After that, shift this element here, shift this element to this position, this element to this position, this element to this position, and finally this one should be shifted here, which means it must be shifted here. Okay, and from where will you get this one? The temporary variable t contains this one, so that can be inserted here. So students, before I shift this element to this position, what I need to do is this element should be stored in a temporary variable t. How do you get this element? It is the first element of the list. For the first element, the index is 0. So if the index is 0, what is this element? A of 0. If the index is 1, what is 20? A of 1. If the index is 2, what is the element present at index 2? A of 2. So in order to get the first element of a list, you can write A of 0. And here A of 0, example 10. Okay, so this A of 0, example 10, should be stored in a temporary variable t. Assignment operator means right hand side is assigned to left hand side. So A of 0, example 10, that is stored in temporary variable t. So now your t contains 10. Now what do I need to do? Shift this element by one position to the left. Again, shift this element by one position to the left. Shift this one by one position to the left. Shift this one by one position to the left. Shift this one by one position to the left. Finally, this one which is there in variable t should come here. So finally t should come here. Finally means the last statement is t should be assigned to this position. What is this position? The index is s minus 1. So how do you get this one? A of s minus 1. So t, that is 10, should be assigned to A of s minus 1. So here you finally you will get 10 here. Remember, this is the last statement. Okay. So whichever statements I get first, it is written at the correct position. Now here what I need to do is this one should be shifted to the left. This one should be shifted to the left. Here, here, here. Now in order to shift this one to the left, what I am going to do is, so first this one should be shifted to the left. After that this one, this and this. Okay. Now in order to shift this element to the left, this index is taken as I. So what is this? Certainly it is I plus 1. So if this is I plus 1, this is A of I plus 1. If this is I, this is A of I. So A of I plus 1 should be assigned to A of I. Isn't it? See, A of I plus 1, here it is 20, that should be assigned to A of I, that is to this position 20 should be assigned. So now 20 appears here. Now in order to perform this shift, same statement, and here this time your I is 1 and your I plus 1 is 2. Okay, so here A of I plus 1, 30 is assigned to A of I, so here 30 comes. So here 20 came and here 30 came. Now in order to perform this shift, same statement, but what about I? This time your I is 2 and your I plus 1 is 3. Okay, so you can see A of I plus 1, 40 is assigned to A of I, and A of I is this position. So 30 is replaced with the 40. Now in order to perform this shift, same statement, but what is I? I is 3. And what is I plus 1? I plus 1 is 4. Okay, so A of 4, that is 12, is assigned to A of 3. So this 40 is replaced with the 12. Okay, finally in order to perform this shift, your I is 4 and your I plus 1 is 5. Okay, so A of 5, which is 11, is assigned to A of I, that is A of 4. So your 11 comes here. So you can see that in order to perform left shift, the statement is A of I equal to A of I plus 1, and your I varies from 0 to S minus 2. Okay, your I varies from 0 to s minus 2. How can you write the code for I varies from 0 to s minus 2? You can write the code like this: for I in range 0 comma s minus 1, because range function returns all the integers starting with a 0 ending with a s minus 1 minus 1, that is s minus 2. So here you get 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the integers that appear here are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I takes the first integer in the range 0. So a of 1 is assigned to a of 0. Now I takes the next integer in the range 1. So a of 2 is assigned to a of 1. See, this is assigned here. I takes the next integer in the range 2. So a of 3 is assigned to a of 2. So this one is assigned here. I takes the next integer in the range 0, 1, 2, after that 3. So a of 4 is assigned to a of 3. I takes the last integer in the range 0, 1, 2, 3, after that 4. So a of 5 is assigned to a of 4. So as I varies from 0 to s minus 1, all these elements are shifted by one position to the left. So you got the code for shifting all the elements by one position to the left. Initially, you should find the length of the list. Now a of 0 should be stored in a temporary variable t, followed by this one, and finally this. So let me write these statements. So initially you should find the length of the list A. Now after that, all these statements. So please understand, what this statement do is elements are shifted by one position to the left. Now I need to shift all the elements by two positions to the left, which means these statements should be repeated two times. I should repeat the statement two times. How can you repeat the statements? It is for j in range 1, 3, because range function returns all the integers starting with a 1 ending with a 3 minus 1, 2. So range 1, 3 will return 1 and 2. J takes the first integer in the range 1. So this is executed once. Now j takes the next integer in the range 2. So this is executed for the second time. So now elements are shifted by two positions to the left and no more integers are there. So in order to shift all the elements by two positions to the left, the code is this. So if it is 2, here 2 plus 1 will appear. So if you want to shift all the elements by n positions to the left, here what must come? N plus 1. Now this piece of code must be inside a function. How can you put the code inside a function? Start with the keyword def followed by name of the function. In the question paper they have mentioned the name L shift a comma n. So you are not supposed to use any other function name. Okay, a means the list, n means it should be shifted by n positions to the left, and a function header should end with a colon. So basically what this function does is this shifts all the elements of list A by two positions to the left. Okay. Now in the next video I will iterate this piece of code using the above example so that you get a better understanding of this code.